Friends, talking to my optimistic friend Bill Burke, founder of the Optimism Institute, a Harvard fellow, and the co-author of Ted Turner's autobiography, Call Me Ted, raises a nuanced and important question. What is optimism? Is it a toxic positivity or an antidote to despair? A 2011 epic movie captures the essence of optimism in a nuanced and light-hearted way. The comedy romance The Best Exotic Marigold Hotel tells the story of a group of British retirees, Judi Dench, Maggie Smith, and Bill Nighy, who decide to outsource their retirement to an exotic and less expensive India. They are captured and lured by fanciful advertisements of this newly restored Marigold Hotel and imagine a luxurious life in lush surroundings, only to arrive and discover that the Marigold Hotel is a run-down version of its former grand and glorious self. And although their new home is a far cry from what they had imagined, they pivot and they discover that life and love can begin anew when they acknowledge their disappointment, let go of their past, and despite the adversity, remain optimistic. The hotel manager, Sunny Patel, captures it best when he tries to reassure his disillusioned British guests and tells them everything will be all right in the end. If it is not all right, it is not the end. Optimism is derived from the Latin word optimum, meaning best. The Oxford Dictionary defines optimism as a hopefulness and confidence about the future or the successful outcome of something. But optimism and life are much more nuanced than that. There is no straight line to the top. In this highly competitive world, we often paint this picture-perfect image of positivity, optimism, and success, very much like the high-resolution, beautiful image on the front of a chocolate box. We place high social demand on being consistently upbeat. We admire people when they are at the top of their game. We follow and respect those who have it all, and we get addicted to the good times, the highs and the wins. We want the joy, the gloss, the smiles, but we often deny or conceal the despair, the doubts, the fatigue, the missteps, and the pain. We do not want the bad news spoken out loud. And all that is well and good. But what goes up usually comes down. What happens when life intervenes, when seasons change, and adversity strikes? We deny, conceal, and lose a part of ourselves. Those imperfect pictures, friends, do not appear on the front of the chocolate box. Most people do not want to hear about the hero's story in its messy middle, which is often lonely, filled with doubt, and even depression. Think of Walt Disney. He was rejected over 300 times by bankers and funders when trying to find funding for Mickey Mouse, his Mickey Mouse concept, and Disneyland. He lived off beans, he racked up debt, and allegedly had a breakdown after creating Mickey Mouse. But friends, that does not mean that the downers are unreal or do not count. Optimism and life are much more nuanced. There is no straight line to the top. The well-known Austrian psychologist, neurologist, and Holocaust survivor Viktor Frankl popularized the concept of tragic optimism, which he defined as the ability to find meaning and hope in life despite the pain, the loss, and suffering. Think of Disney today, one of the world's most powerful brands, one of America's most profitable companies, and a company that has generated more than $50 billion in revenue. Optimism is an antidote to despair. It is more than just feeling hopeful and confident in uncertain times. It is medicine for the soul when we hit on the hard times and pull back the curtain. But it requires that we do 7 things. Firstly, acknowledge the tragic triad. Pain, guilt, and death are an inevitable part of our human existence. Secondly, understand that toxic positivity is the opposite of tragic optimism when we reject this incessant need to be positive and accept the realities of human suffering. Embrace those so-called negative emotions. Find meaning in suffering. What is life and this event trying to teach me? What is my purpose? And number 5, channel that purpose to become fuel and energy for hope about the future. Number 6, soldier on, just one bold step at a time. And number 7, redefine optimism in a more nuanced way. No matter the uncertainty, tragedy, or adversity, optimism is the ability to find meaning, hope, and confidence about the future and the outcome. Sunny Patel, the GM of the Marigold Hotel, captured it well when he said, "Everything will be all right in the end. And if it is not yet all right, it is not yet the end." Optimism and life are so much more nuanced. There is no straight line to the top. There is no picture-perfect image on the front of that chocolate box. Toxic positivity is what it says. It is toxic. Tragic optimism is an antidote to despair, which gives us meaning and fuels hope and confidence about the future. So until next time, remember that leading boldly is about making these thoughtful, clear choices. And bold leadership is about taking that bold action. No matter the tragedy, just one small step at a time. One step for you, but together, a giant step for humanity. So take care and take thoughtful, bold action.